Coffee Show. I'm Prince Hakeem.
I'm Mandalove.
And today we have a new episode for you. And it's something that we all deal with, I think, almost every day. Some of us every day. But, you know, it is what it is. Stress. And we'll talk about, you know, some of the signs of stress. You know, I think that people don't really pay attention to the signs as much as they should. And there's some like really good stuff here we're going to talk about. Some of these things are common. Some of these things you may not even think. To your point earlier, you said we have two stomachs, right?
Yeah, definitely. Two brains.
Oh, two brains.
And the stomach is our second brain. There you go.
Okay.
But sometimes I think that people, when we talk about stress, we naturally associate stress with something bad. Like we say, oh, this person is stressed out. It's work, marriage, relationships, friends, whatever. We got too much on our plate.
Yeah.
And there's good stress. There's some good stress too. Like stress is a natural thing. So it's important to note, like, sometimes you get a new job.
Yeah. And
you're stressed because it's a new job. That doesn't mean it's a bad thing. You're stressed because of school. Those are not bad things. They're natural things that cause stress in our life. But going over the symptoms helps us to note that something is getting out of hand, or we need to pay particular attention to maybe our diet, exercise, sleep, things like that. And these are the different ways to notice when we're significantly stressed.
Exactly. Your body will tell you how to recalibrate what's going on. It gives you signs. And that's what we're going to talk about today. So the first one, what do we got?
Acne.
Acne.
So it says that acne is one of the most visible signs to show that stress is manifesting in your life. So acne, I did see something, and maybe while we're talking about it a little bit, I'll look at my phone to see if we could find it. But there was, I saw this kind of like a map of somebody's face, and it talked about, it was funny because that, like, as soon as I saw it, I thought about it because it was a face. And I think I saw it on like social media or something like that, where it talked about the different areas of your face that develop acne and what those areas indicate, right? Like if you get it down here or on your cheeks or on your forehead. But it says that studies have shown that confirm that acne is associated with higher levels of stress. One study measured the severity of acne in 22 people before and during an exam. Increased levels of stress result in the exam were associated with a greater acne severity. So basically just like the more stressed you are, the more it shows up on your face.
Yeah.
And I think that's pretty normal, especially the younger you are, teenagers, especially your hormones.
Exactly. Oh yeah.
Different regulating at different times. Women with cycles and getting pregnant. Sometimes you have women who, as soon as they get pregnant, they have acne the whole time they're pregnant, and then as soon as they have the baby, they're fine.
Yeah.
Acne related to eating different things, sugar levels. So, but those are all things that are kind of important to note because they show signs of depression, stress. You know, like people that are stress eaters, that shows up in acne. Obviously, it shows up in weight gain or whatever, which we'll talk about it later, I'm sure. But things like sugar or not enough water or things like that we have to pay attention to when we're stressed out.
So acne, so to that point, stress comes in many different angles or many different ways when it comes to like the acne part of it. Your body, whatever you put in your body, you can stress your body out. So it's not the fact that you're mentally stressed out, it could be the stress on your body that's causing acne to happen as well. So to your point, the foods that you're eating, the sugars, the high fatty and fried foods can cause clogged pores,
oil content, things like that.
Yeah.
I think oil content, sugar content, lack of sugar, like people have low sugar issues, that can cause either acne or like severe dryness on your face, like just the texture of your skin. So a lot of those things show different things that are related to stress.
Yeah, eczema too. So acne, eczema, they're skin conditions, but I know people that have eczema, once they're stressed out, the eczema start to pop up as well. So
to that, just before we move on, I found the map.
You have a map.
So it says forehead, poor diet too high in fat, too high in processed food, irregular sleep, and digestive problems. Okay. So that's this area, like your T-zone type area. Nose, diet, indigestion, bloating, and poor blood circulation. So if you're the type of person, I've seen people with that, like right here.
Yeah.
The one.
Yeah.
The scary one.
Something's going on.
Bad circulation. Cheeks too high. I didn't know this. Diet too high in dairy. Or
I don't drink dairy anyway, so.
Like
eat too many dairy products.
Cheeks too high in dairy. Lung issues. Like poor breathing patterns, labored breathing, maybe inflammation in the lungs, maybe liquid in the lungs, stress and allergies, and then mouth, chin area, so that those like around your lip, and the chin area down here, hormonal, stress, and kidney imbalances.
Wow.
So as soon as I saw that, that's what I thought of, because I was like, wow, that's things that we don't even pay attention to, but it's a pretty good indicator of like if you see too much and you think that maybe, you know, different things associated with the kidney, or like I said, your cheeks with your lungs, or things like, if those are things that you've noted, even if it's as simple as I see acne on my face and I've had problems breathing, or I feel like my breathing is labored, it's something worth looking into, and instead of just associating it with something really simple.
Yeah, and if you find yourself having a face full of acne, go to the doctor immediately. You have a lot of stuff going on that you need to figure out. Like, switch the whole diet up.
Don't leave that like that.
Yeah, don't do that. You got a lot more issues going on than just the bumps. Trust me when I tell you. All right, so the second one is going to be headaches. Now, how many times have you felt yourself getting overwhelmed and stressed out that you have this massive headache to the point you have to lay down or even go take something to get the headache to subside a little bit? Well, before we jump into this part, I heard something that was really interesting. When people get headaches, they tend to take medication that's targeted for your head
I was just going there too. I was like, where?
To stop the headache. But actually your headache starts in your stomach. So it could have been something that you ate, something that's going on here. Yeah. That's now causing you to get a headache. So most times when you get hungry, you get a headache. And that's because your stomach needs food, right? So, but if you find yourself getting extremely stressed out, once again, it has a few things dealing with your stomach, but it shows one study, 267 people with chronic headaches found that stressful events cause them to develop these chronic headaches in about 45 of those cases. So my number one thing to help manage that type of headache or potential headache is when I feel myself getting extremely overwhelmed, I just stop wherever I am, take a few breaths and try to rationalize the situation, because we can go from 0 to 60 really fast and cause these headaches to come on. Once again, it goes back to your stomach, because you get this feeling in your stomach, and it's an ongoing body like.
So war. How long does it take for your brain to calm down?
How long does it take for your brain to calm down? Depends on the person.
So we've talked about this before. We're arguing. So for our brain to kind of decompress, step away from something, relax, and kind of reset so we could think rationally is about 20 minutes.
Yeah.
So if you feel like you're overwhelmed, can't think straight, can't organize your thoughts, you might be starting to get a headache or feel the headache coming on, I would suggest, even if it's like setting a timer and saying, hey, I need to take a break for 20 minutes to kind of calm yourself down. Headaches, again, another nice
it's
little
a
chart.
map.
It's a chart.
You like charts, huh?
I like being able to identify what's going on. So it says,
and you guys should be able to find a link for all this stuff at the bottom as well.
So it says, so obviously your sinuses are going to be like in here. Tension headaches are going to be the front of your head.
Yep.
So it's going to be like directly across your forehead. Migraines can be here. So things that cause like migraines are going to be things that are like obvious. Sensitivity to light, maybe, you know, I've had it to where like every step I take, I feel it in my face, like pulsating pain. It could even be like sensitivity to sound, sensitivity to music, anything that has a pulse. If you have a migraine, you're going to feel that all over. And then cluster headaches are going to be things that are specific to like specific areas in your brain.
Yeah.
So again, things to notate that, you know, a lot of people will be like, oh, I must be stressed out. I don't feel well, blah, 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 blah. I have a headache. Pay attention to where that's coming from and what your body is trying to tell you.
You have to. I mean, honestly, you may think it's one thing. It's like a headache is not just a headache. To the point of the chart, depending on where your headache starts and wherever it consistently are causing issues, once you know where it is, you can probably really address it even more. But
and paying attention can decrease or increase stress. Like some people feel a headache come on right away. They're like, oh my God, I'm so stressed out. Yeah. That's why I got a headache. And now you're causing more stress.
More stress because you're stressed.
And your headache is getting worse. So pay attention to what it is, because it could just be allergies. And if that's the case, pop a Benadryl and move on with your life.
And just keep it pushing.
Yeah, so just pay attention to what's going on in your body. What's the next one?
You got it.
Frequent sickness. So if you feel like you're battling, that was funny, we were just talking about allergies. If you feel like you're battling a constant case of sniffles, stomach aches, pain, whatever, frequent sickness is a sign of stress. Most commonly because stress causes your immune system to be less powerful. Mm-hmm. So if you're always stressed out, your immune system is not as strong, hence you get sick a lot more easily than others.
Yeah.
So, I mean,
now I've seen this happen in a lot of cases with people. Have you ever seen somebody, if it's a coworker, friend, family member, whatever, it's like always sick? Most times, if you really break down what's going on with them in their life, it's probably because they're stressed out, going through something. I have done it in the past when I was younger. Like I just always was stressed out for one thing or the
when
other.
When you were younger? Mm-hmm. Not now.
Not as much. Younger, really bad. Now, I kind of identify it. Not as bad now. I mean, I'm not saying it doesn't happen now, but in the past it was worse. But I will almost make myself sick to the point where it's like I can't go to work. I'm feeling nauseous and got a headache and going through all these things. I'm like, wait a minute.
So there's this thing called like work-life balance.
Yeah. Back then I didn't have it.
And self-care.
I'm getting better with that now. I'm getting so much better with that. In the past, I was horrible with that. I was all work.
So people who stress themselves or stretch, that was funny. I was trying to say stretch.
But it worked.
Stress
and
stretch themselves so thin. So if you're the type of person that's at work 24/7, you're probably overdoing it. If you're the type of person who goes to work all day and then goes home to work, probably overdoing it. If you're the type of person,
you got things to do, bro. I get it. I'm one of those people. I leave work and go back to work.
Guilty conscience?
No,
I wasn't even talking about you.
I feel like it was towards me.
Honestly,
I feel like that was towards me.
It really wasn't. It was a general statement in reference to just taking care of yourself. Yeah, but I feel like you have a guilty conscience.
Take 20 minutes for yourself and get back to work, please. Got stuff to do.
Anyhow, decreased energy and insomnia. So
goes right back to the last one.
Same thing. And I was just gonna say, a lot of these kind of feed one right into the other.
Yeah.
Because most people that are stressed, especially when it comes to, it's funny because we end up talking about one and the other, because symptoms of stress kind of feed right into things that stress us out. If you're the type of person that is constantly in work mode, your brain can't ever slow down. So it's hard to rest.
That's true.
Because you're constantly thinking about the next thing you have to do. And I think it's hard to get in the practice of turning something off. And I'm guilty of it too, where you have a job or you have a life and certain things that you're extremely committed to, and it's hard to say okay, it's time to turn this off because I need to rest in order to be the best I can be at my job or at being a parent or at being whatever it is that you're working on or committed to in that moment. And you end up with just less energy and less energy to give to any of those things because you're always on the go. So it's imperative to find that balance of getting the rest you need to do the things that you have to do to be good at them.
Yeah, I agree. I've been in a situation even as recently where I can't slow down my brain, so I'm not getting the appropriate amount of sleep at night. So the next day I'm still energized, but I feel it. I'm like sluggish.
You feel that pull, yeah.
And that stresses you out too, because you're like, man, I still have to keep going. I want to take a minute and get some rest, but I can't. So it's like an ongoing cycle of it's like a roller coaster. You're going round and around and around. But to your point is, you have to find a moment to say, look, just log off, turn it off, just do something completely opposite of what you've been doing. Give your brain a rest. We have so many things we have to process throughout the day. And if the only thing we're processing is the things we have to get done, we're going to be stressed out. And you're going to lose your energy. You're going to not sleep. Because you close your eyes at night doesn't mean that you're getting rest. It just means that you're in a slumber state and you're not slipping into real sleep. So this is true.
Changes in libido.
All right, listen. All right, that was a joke, but it's real. So if you stress out, as men and women, because women, I just don't feel like it right now. Guys, I feel your pain, right? So you're like, hey, what's up, man? You trying to get some sexy time? With some sexy time? I just have so much stuff to do.
I hope you never say. Do you say that?
With sexy time? Nah, I don't say it like that. But I'm trying to clean it up for the camera. You want me to say what I really say? I can't say that.
So, anyway, a study evaluated the stress levels of 30 women and measured their arousal while watching an erotic film. Those with higher levels of chronic stress experienced less arousal compared to those with lower levels of stress. Another study made up of 103 women found that higher levels of stress were associated with lower levels of sexual activity and satisfaction. And another study looked at 339 medical residents, and it reported that high levels of stress negatively impact their desire for sex, arousal, and satisfaction.
First of all, I got a problem with the study.
Which one?
To let them watch porn. First of all, everybody doesn't watch the same type of porn.
When I originally looked at that, I was like, I kind of laughed on the inside a little bit, because I was like, what happened?
What turns you on don't turn the other person on.
Forget all that. Did you sit me in a room with other women
and hook you up with all the little things
and go,
ooh, she's turning the chart says red, or she's just straight gray?
Yeah, it's just, that's weird. But usually when you get asked to participate in those things, it's people that really, there are people out there that just don't care. They'll sit in a room with a bunch of people, or they'll sit in a room by themselves and they'll be perfectly fine with doing whatever.
I would do that study.
Anyway,
I let them test me, hook me up to a machine.
Anyway, I think as adults, we've all been there in terms of feeling like it, not feeling like it.
Yeah.
You get into an argument with your partner, that's stressful. I don't feel like it, I don't want to, I'm tired, whatever. We make up women with their headache.
Stress.
They're gonna have a headache.
Oh, you stressed, baby? No problem.
I don't feel like
I got you. Only give me 20
this,
minutes.
Like this.
Hey, boop, boop, boop. Hey,
Don't touch me.
So, you don't want no sexy time? I am a honey. It's okay. I'm gonna give you 20 minutes. I'm gonna rub your neck. You right? 20 minutes. Bring your brain down.
She might not know.
But I'm gonna tell you. 20 minutes. You got 20 minutes to get your life together. Then the sexy time.
Are you playing music or something to bring it back? Start a timer, and then the music cuts on right at 20 minutes.
Boop. There you go. Well, yeah, that was 20 minutes. It's sexy time. How your head feel? It's okay.
Popping Excedrin. Let's move on.
Let's move on.
Digestive issues. So, digestive problems like diarrhea, constipation.
That's kind of weird. When you say diarrhea, so either you're going a lot or you're not going at all. Like, is this no in between? You're not getting
But you have to,
a regular,
like, everybody
smooth
reacts differently to stress, right? There are people who,
stress diarrhea.
yeah, everybody reacts differently to stress.
That sounds rough.
But think about it. How many, especially women, I think that women, and this is like totally biased because I'm a woman, but I think that when we're stressed out, our hormones and everything is so crazy that we, like, some women lose a whole lot of weight, and then some women gain a whole lot of weight. Some women are stress eaters. Some women don't eat at all. Like, there's so many things that go up and down. So I could see how, like, if I'm a stressed eater, it really depends on what I'm eating, right? So I could be a stressed eater that eats a whole lot of junk food that normally I don't eat a whole lot of junk food, and it could give me diarrhea. Or I could be a stressed eater that, you know, I've seen women that eat like starch when they're stressed out, like pasta and rice and bread and whatever. And what happens? You eat all that starch, you're constipated. So
Yeah, the bloop 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 bloop. Can't go bloop bloop.
So
If you see a girl's stomach kind of swole a little bit, it's a little bit of IBS, but
don't ever ask if somebody's pregnant.
don't do that.
Don't do that.
She may just be stressed. Now, some women do look super pregnant. You seen them. I couldn't tell.
I don't ask though.
Don't ask.
No.
I just kind of be cautious. This is how you can tell she's
You
pregnant
know,
or not.
I think people don't
Offer her a
ask
drink.
though.
See if she wants to drink.
I think people don't ask though because everybody has done it at one point in time or another, where they either ask or, like, I don't even like admitting this.
You've done it?
I did it to somebody who wasn't even fat though.
So why would you ask?
So I
Did they have a bump?
Yes.
Yeah,
I was in the gym.
At the gym? At the gym?
I was
Whoa.
in the gym.
Okay.
And it was a person who I've seen a few times before that we've spoken. We're not friends, but we have spoken in the gym. And I don't go to the gym a whole lot. So I hadn't seen this person in a while. And she's super fit. So she was next to me working out. And I noticed this, like, an obvious, like, and I thought I had it all together
It's gas.
because she's small and she had a bump.
She was bloated.
I asked if she was pregnant.
What'd she say?
I asked if she was pregnant, like I was excited for her.
What'd she say? You go, oh! You do that? You did that part?
I know I
Did you go to touch it?
Oh God, no. But
Here,
I
let me-
did like,
Nice.
oh, are you?
Oh, what'd she say? How was the look on her face?
I knew as soon as I asked that I was wrong.
What did she say?
She was like, no. But she said, no. I've been really stressed out. But I felt so bad for even asking. She was like, I just been going through it and I ain't been able to be in the gym. And then the casual weird conversation after was like,
So
I just got off my period, all those kinds of weird things. Cause now you're justifying why you got this weird pouch and you know that I noticed it. So
she just had to go take a dump.
needless to say,
That's all.
I won't ever ask anyone again if they're pregnant.
I never mind. We'll move on. I won't talk about my weird
So appetite.
situation.
Anyway, so next symptom.
Depression.
That's,
It's real.
a lot of people think like depression is like this on and off. And I hate, well, because I'm a counselor, right? I hate people using words that sound real casual. Like, oh, she's real depressed. Because you don't know what depression is. Or this person is like really bipolar.
Yeah.
You don't know what bipolar looks like. So I hate using, so depression is real, especially when somebody's stressed out. Depression could be a really big deal.
And it depends on the person too, right? So stress and depression is like hand in hand.
Yes, they do go hand in hand, and there are like degrees of severity when you're talking about depression. Depression could, I mean, in order to say somebody is like clinically depressed, whether it's a like isolated thing, like you're going through depression because of a specific thing, like postpartum depression or whatever, it has to last for a certain amount of time, and there are very specific amount of things that criteria wise are compounded to say this person is depressed. But and it's a lot of the things that we talked about prior to, like appetite, sleep, different mannerisms, whether or not somebody is isolating or withdrawn from their friends, not enjoying things that they normally enjoy. So those are all like indicators of depression, but it doesn't mean that that person has chronic long-term depression. It could be because of stress. It could be because of a loss. It could be postpartum. It could be related to grief or anxiety or job or whatever. But it is real. It does have some significant factors that affect us long-term, and it's important to kind of note what it looks like so people know what they're looking at when they see it.
Let me ask you, just in your professional opinion, what's the best way to help someone that you kind of can tell is going like a depression mode? If it's, let's say they had a death in the family or something like that, what is the best way to kind of, one thing to spot it, another thing to kind of to be a support system for them?
So like I said, something like grief, any kind of depression is going to be a number of criteria. Some of it is like things that you can notice easily, things like the way people take care of themselves. Is this somebody that gets stressed up on a regular basis, especially women, like their makeup, their hair, when those things start declining consistently? So not, I had a bad hair day. Like I've noticed for the past few weeks, this person hasn't been bathing like they normally do, putting makeup on like they normally do, or, getting dressed like they normally do, things like that, shaving, things that are like hygiene. Other things is like diet, exercise. It's important to note the things in comparison to their norm, because you do have people who just don't do those things. So it's in comparison to what they normally do, how significant the changes are, sleeping patterns, things like that. When somebody dies, I don't think people realize that grief is related to losing of anything. So grieving, when it comes to depression, grieving can be loss of a job, loss of a human being, loss of a dog, loss of a relationship, all those things. Moving, people automatically think if you moved into like a nicer house, you should be happy. But there's still some sort of grieving involved, because you're losing something and going into something new. That's stressful, and it can cause depression. So just paying attention to what's going on with people, and if it's like you said, it's a friend where you think they're going through something, the most important thing to note with anything is always that people that really want help just need to know you're there. Because forcing something it's not gonna work. They just have to know, like, hey, if you need me, I'm here. If you need me to just sit, I'm here. You don't have to talk. And I think that's a lot of the problem with talking about stress and anxiety and depression, is that people always think that if you're the friend and you're trying to support, that you're trying to support by having them, like, forcing them to talk to you. Just letting somebody know, like, hey, I'm here for you. Even if it's just like, come over, sit and watch a movie just for company. You don't have to talk. I think that's the best way to, like, put yourself out there without somebody feeling like they're being forced to do something with that support. Because most times people feel like when somebody offers me support, I have to give something too. So just noting that I'm here for you and you don't have to do anything.
Gotcha. So I just wanted to touch on that, because I know depression is one of those things that we deal with and we see people go through every day. And if it's somebody that's close to you, just some things you can do to kind of help. it can get awkward sometimes. You're like, I don't know what to say, and I don't want to say the wrong thing. But sometimes the wrong thing being said can cause it to be worse. So just be mindful of what they're going through, the loss that they're dealing with, or whatever they're depressed about. Just be very cautious of it.
And don't ever take it out on yourself. Like, don't make it personal.
Right.
Don't say, oh, I thought it was me, or I felt like I was forcing you. So I'm here for you, and if you need me, I'm here. And that's good enough.
There you go. So the next one is rapid heartbeat. Do 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 do.
Or more like do 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 do.
Nah, this is real. So a fast heartbeat and increased heart rate can also be a symptom of high stress levels. I know we all have been in that situation. And once again, I want to continue pointing out, when you talk about stress, there's so many different ways we can be stressed out. You can be running and exercising, you're stressing your body that way, your heart beats up. It's the same situation. Your mind kind of tells your body the stress you're putting on it. So as much as you're running, let's say you're running, a mile. Think about if you're running a mile at a consistent pace, right? Your heart's going to be, running kind of fast when you finish. If you're going through a stressful situation in your mind that you're dealing with mentally, it affects your physical being as well. So I've seen people where they're arguing, or they're kind of in a high stress mental space, and they're sweating like they've been running. Have you seen that?
Like a marathon.
It's like, are you okay? Are you okay? Look, this is when you know something's wrong. When somebody look at you like.
But we all, like you
okay?
said earlier, we all react to stress so differently, and it can get to the point. Like the next one, I see it already. So the next one is sweating. And it's as simple as like, that's why I said earlier when we were talking about headaches and acne, it's about like being honest with what's going on with yourself in that moment. Yeah. Because some people go like, oh, I felt like my heart was beating really fast, or I felt like I was, but I'm not stressed out because I just moved into my new house, or I just got this new great job, or I just had a baby and I'm supposed to be happy, right? Or I just got married and I'm supposed to be happy, right? And yeah, those are happy occasions, but people also get stressed out with those happy occasions.
Oh yeah.
So don't kind of let something falter to the side because you think you're supposed to react a certain way. It's okay to be stressed out in good situations. It's just important to know, am I feeling this because of the stress I'm dealing with, or is it something else? Like if I just ran down the block, my heartbeat should be going fast.
Yep.
But if I'm sitting still in a room and having a conversation and my heart feels like it's about to jump out of my chest, that's a problem.
That's stress. That's mental stress. You might want to get away from that situation. If you're like about to have a heart attack, and that's, we've seen that happen too. And when someone's in a stressful situation like that and they have a heart attack, it's because their heart is beating super fast. And you start to sweat, what your body is doing is trying to cool itself down. So when people say, hey man, cool out, chill, that's what they're speaking about. I don't know if people realize that when I say chill, relax. Because once you chill and relax and cool down, and it's the worst thing, but it's what you need to do. You need to like,
it's like the worst thing to say during an argument.
Because your body's like trying to tell you, look, calm down.
How many times have you heard somebody say that and they're like, stop telling me?
Yeah, it gets bad. They'll actually escalate to a whole nother level. Y'all probably end up fighting for real, but with love. Chill out, like calm down. It's okay. So yeah, like you said, sweating is, like I said, sweating is a whole thing. Your body's trying to tell you to relax and do something outside of what you're doing now. Our body's unique like that, It
is.
I love it.
I think it's important to note, I can't stress it enough how simple it is to just have to know your body and know the difference. Because all of those things we just talked about, if you're not in tune with your body and you don't know what's going on,
right, then
you'll have no clue, and something can get a whole lot worse before it gets better. Because I mean it's a blessing, but I'm not like a big, I've never had like a whole lot of acne on my face, but I'm definitely the person that breaks out when I'm stressed out. And I'm definitely a eater when I'm stressed, and it's sugar. It's always candy. So I know that because of the increase in sugar and processed foods, right away I start getting like, I get a bump here, then it's like my cheeks. And once I see it, it kind of reels me back in.
Yeah.
And I'm able to be like, oh, I gotta drink some more water. I gotta stop doing XYZ. I'm also this person that when I'm really stressed out, I'm always tired. Like I always feel like I need a nap. Or as soon as I start doing the next thing, I'm like drowsy. Or at the end of the day, I feel like I don't want to deal with anybody and I'm really irritable. And it's not because I'm just a mean person. It's because I'm so stressed out that midway through the day, I've exerted so much energy to everything that I'm exhausted. So sometimes it's just important to like know how your body reacts to things so you can pull it back in and go, wait, this is how I need to adjust for this.
Yeah.
Because sometimes in those stressful moments, you have to be able to say, I either need a day off or I need to cut it short. Or this may not be the job for me, or whatever the case may be, the relationship for me, or this is just something I can't handle right now, or whatever, and be able to verbalize to the people that care about you, this is what I'm going through, or this is what I'm dealing with. Maybe I need help, or maybe I need a moment to just kick back and, you know, be isolated for a second. Like, take care of yourself.
Number one, the stress will go down first when you start taking care of yourself. And find out what works for you. For me, when I feel like I'm about to get stressed out, I'll go exercise. I'll go for a run, or I just go to the gym. I love running. I'll go, especially now that the weather's getting nice. Like, go for a run, do something that's gonna
Go for a walk.
settle you down. Go for a walk, it's fine. Because what happens is your body's gonna start to like, you get air to your muscles and your muscles start to relax a little bit. Even though you're getting tense, you don't realize that you're actually helping your body when you're getting oxygen to your muscles. So you start to relax a little bit, and then you can actually get some good rest. Like you worked out is not stress sleep. It's I had a good workout. I was able to focus on something else other than what I'm stressed about at the moment, and I'm getting a result with my body. So, you know, that's what I do. Some people just go and sit somewhere very peaceful and calm and quiet. Some people just turn the lights off and go in the closet. Somebody suggested that to me too. Like, just go in the closet and turn the lights off. I'm like, that just sounds all kind of weird and bad. I don't want to do that.
So now that you went into being in the closet and stuff, I do think it's important to kind of highlight different things that you could do to decrease, like tangible things you could do to kind of decrease stress. So one, I'm gonna say I'm bad at this. I try, but I'm bad at it. Okay. Drinking appropriate amounts of water. People don't think that helps with stress, but it does. It does. Drinking an appropriate amount of, sometimes the symptoms we feel from stress, and we believe that it's just stress, is us being dehydrated. Because if we're not functioning at optimum level, then we get tired more quickly. We don't function the best way we can. We don't have the energy the best way we can. So whatever we're doing stresses us out more because we're not functioning correctly. So drinking appropriate amount of water, eating a variety of things. I know there's a lot of people that have like certain things they like that they eat all the time. I'm a rice and pasta person. I love rice and I love pasta, but it is so heavy.
It is.
And it heavy like drags you down, makes you tired, makes you full, makes you sluggish. So
you can eat it every now and then. It's cool.
Yeah, I eat rice every day. I would easily. So I have to be like extra mindful to be like, oh, I need vegetables, or I need to eat a healthy meal, or have to have a salad to kind of balance my variety in my diet. So I don't, because I remember a time where if somebody went sneaking for pictures of me back when I was like, I don't know, 60 or 70 pounds heavier.
Oh. Okay.
It's not a good look.
I seen the pictures too. You look fine. Like a whole different person, but you look fine. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, that was back when I liked pasta.
A lot.
And only pasta.
A lot. Pasta.
It'd be like pasta with like butter.
All right, that's all kind of health issues there, huh? Clogged arteries.
So, pay attention to what you eat, what you drink, sleep habits. I know that everybody says like, who really gets 8 hours of sleep a night?
Adults don't get 8 hours of sleep a night.
You don't.
If you do, you are not a true adult. In no form. Like, you get a full 8 hours of sleep, shame on you as an adult.
You're not living right.
You are not being all you can be as an adult.
I do think that for people, especially people who have small kids, they don't, even that point of self-care to have like time to yourself, they like let their kids run crazy. Kids are like going nuts and up till 10, 10:30 at night. So then when you think about what you're doing as a parent, right? If you're putting your kids to bed at 9:30, 10 o'clock, what time are you going to bed?
Right.
And what kind of self-care, like wind down time do you get? Like a lot of parents, I've seen it where they put, like my own friends, where they put their kids to bed at like 9:30 and then they run to bed. And you don't have any like adult grown up, like watch a TV show that's just for grown-ups, or have a glass of wine, or whatever it is that you like to do for yourself.
Wine sounds good. I don't know why it sounds good. I want some wine.
Right now?
We should actually have some wine on the show. I think the next show we're gonna have some wine.
It's morning coffee. So how about
you can drink wine in the morning?
A mimosa.
You can have those.
We can have mimosas. Maybe on location somewhere.
Well, I will tell y'all this side note. We are going to be switching locations. So the next show, as you can tell our background, right? It's not going to look the same. We're actually going to a really, really cool spot out here in Hampton, Virginia. It's called the Gallery on Mellon. It's a new location we're opening up, and I'm very excited about it. So
I'm excited too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's going to look completely different.
I feel like we're going to be on The View or something.
Yeah, it feels like that. It feels like The View a little bit.
Yeah,
so,
I'm excited.
Yeah.
I'm excited. It's going to be bright and a little more airy than what we have going on. And I'm just excited about the change.
It's pretty cool.
Something new and fresh.
Talk about stress, because I'm stressed right now trying to get it together. But I'm managing the stress. I'm sharing it with everyone else. I believe in sharing stress. You can't have it all to yourself. Pass them on.
So you like have this pile of it, and you're like, here, this is a little bit for you.
I can't deal with that. This is all you.
This is your share.
Yeah, no.
I'm glad you said that though, because there are, so the way you said it was like being funny, but there are these like, especially when you see couples and how they manage things in reference to stress, like bills. You'll have like one person in the relationship that handles all the bills. And then when they see something wrong, they're like, oh my God, I don't want to say anything because I don't want to stress this person out. This is not to say like go throw weight on other people. That's not what I'm saying. But I am saying like manage it appropriately.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like if you have a partner that you're dealing with something with, manage that appropriately. Like go to that person, hey, I want your input on this, or let's talk about this. Because some things to us, to one person, may seem really, really bad.
Yeah.
And it may not be as bad as we think.
That's true.
So sometimes talking to people and kind of getting input and some understanding on things, some clarification, or just getting a different point of view can make you see something a whole lot different. Because sometimes our stress is our own, right? Like it's something we create, or it's something that we believe is much worse than what it actually is.
That's true.
And using the network that we have, family members, friends, support, can really change our perception of a situation and how we manage it. Because you never know, you might have a friend out there who totally knows how to deal with something that you have no clue about.
Yeah, you're right. That's true.
Especially when it comes to like financial stuff.
Yeah.
You know, because that's for another show, but I'm just saying people aren't super informed about, nobody knows everything about everything. And sometimes when we're trying to manage things and somebody goes, oh, why don't you just do this? And it's like this simple fix and we have no clue. And you're like, why didn't I think of that? Or how did I even know that you knew anything about that? So ask questions.
Trust me when I tell you, I'll ask a lot of questions. I don't know a lot of stuff. It seems like I do, but I really don't know as much as I would like to know, but I know a lot of people. So I can find out just about anything I want to know. And I think if you have a circle of people like that, utilize that. So when I said pass the stress around, I don't mean like really stress people out. But to your point, reach out and say, hey, I'm running into this issue. Like, do you know anything about this? And they're like, oh, yeah. Real simple, real quick.
I'm like, communication is so important. But to that, it speaks to just educating each other.
Yeah.
Because when you don't talk, nobody knows. And that's how you end up with things like depression. Nobody knows what you're suffering through. And sometimes just asking the question, I'm definitely a person, like people that have worked for me or worked with me know, I will always say, I don't have all the answers, but if you come to me and ask me a question, I will find it. I will certainly find an answer. And if I can find an answer, I just educated you and I educated myself by finding the answer. And that decreases stress for everybody, like long term. So having those conversations about things that you don't understand or don't have knowledge about can increase the quality of life that you have long term. Just being able to ask a question and say, hey, I'm not sure about this, or I don't know what to do about this, or whatever the case may be. I mean, because like I said, the things that we don't think about when it comes to stress, the things that we overlook the most, the good stuff, is sometimes the most stressful.
Yeah.
I mean, think about people who like win the lottery. You get all this money in your hand and then you're like, what do I do? And what comes with that is family, friends, people asking, people reaching out, people saying, hey, can I have?
Don't let me win the lottery. You ask me for some money, I'm like, shit.
The way my bank
I ain't got it, man.
The way my bank account is set up.
No, I ain't got it, man. Hey, I don't carry cash. That would be my whole thing.
You need to get the Kevin Hart version.
I don't carry cash.
My Kevin Hart voice. The way my bank account is set up.
It'd be 12 to 14 days. I'll get back with you.
In 7 to 10 business days.
I would literally, I know this is like off the topic, but you'll have to fill out an application for a loan if you ask me for money. And you may get approved depending on your credit.
It would be like a scholarship fund.
Depending on your credit. I might or may not give you the money.
It would be a scholarship fund. You put it in. You put in an application for review.
Yeah. They probably have stacks of it.
But even that's stressful.
I wouldn't deal with that. I'll get it to somebody else to deal with it.
Everything in your life is stress. Yeah. Everything.
Just manage it well. Well, like to your point earlier, identify it. Once you can identify it, you can manage it. You can really avoid a lot of it. And I know we're about towards the end of the show, but the one thing I do want to tell everyone is be mindful of the places and people and the things you have in your life. Those are the three things that can actually cause a huge amount of stress. So the places you go, the people around, the things that you do. So if you can really
people, places, and things.
If you can bring that in and make it smaller, I guarantee your stress levels will go down.
And
45%.
And be mindful of how you operate those things. Like if you have people, places, and things that you frequent that are not healthy for you, change them. And it's not say you gotta run around cutting people off or never going to certain places again, but less frequently or less involvement.
Yeah, that's just it. Pretty easy. People are like, well, you gonna cut me off?
That was mean.
You're not stressing me out, B. Like, that's not gonna happen. Protect your energy.
Not the scissor.
Protect your energy at all costs. We're at the end of the show. I hope you learned something today. Make sure you check us out on all our social media platforms, on Morning Coffee, and on Instagram at Morning Coffee, or on Facebook at Morning Coffee. And you can find me on Instagram at P Hakeem, and
That.
we'll have it written down somewhere, but it's right there. Mine's right here.
I'm gonna get a card.
I won't even ask anymore. I'll just go
What is it? It's like
unmatched underscore.
unapologetic, but there's zeros and like all kinds of cool stuff in there. So
Go follow her.
do that. Thanks for watching.
Thanks for watching. Catch you next time.